We're glad to have you back. The chairman of the Nigerian Reputation Management Group, Mr. Yomi Badejo Okusanya, has identified the importance of reputation management in national development, insisting that there is a strong correlation between corporate reputation and financial performance. Speaking during the unveiling of the NRMG in Abuja, he says he expressed his disposition for poor reputation Nigeria has consistently contended with, and pointed out the proper reputation management would play a pivotal role in shaping the success and growth of businesses in Nigeria, while calling on stakeholders in Nigeria to project stakeholders in the Nigerian project to wake up and assume the position of salesman to market the country's potential. Mr. Okusanya, who is a former president of the African Public Relations Association, said a strong reputation could enhance a country's perceived value, leading to higher valuation, multiples, and increased investors' interest. That place catches my interest so very much. But live with me in the studio is the chairman, board of the Nigerian Reputation Management Group. He's also a fellow, Nigerian Institute of Public Relations, Mr. Yomi Badejo Okusanya. Thank you so much. It's good to have you here live in the studio.
Thank you. Thank you for having me, Tolo. Thank you very much.
I think we should start with, you know, when I was reading through and preparing for this, I said I was going to ask you that. Do you really agree that Nigeria's brand has long been undervalued before now? Looking at this board you chair, what were those factors that brought this up? What do you think was happening before now?
Well, like we normally say, and attribute this to my president, the president of the Nigerian Institute of Public Relations, Dr. Ike Neliaku, he says it like this, he puts it like this: the reputation gate of Nigeria has been left unmanned for too long. So all kinds of things have happened, all kinds of things have found their way in, and therefore it is time for us as Nigerians to man those gates, to filter what is going in and what is coming out. And so, yes, I do agree with you that we've suffered very serious damage with serious consequences when it comes to the reputation of Nigeria as a nation.
And how that really hampers development?
Oh, definitely, because when you look at the fact that there's a correlation between investment and infrastructure development, yes, and reputation. Yes. And it's there for us to see. Look at what has happened in Singapore and even lately Dubai. The reputation of Dubai is so significant, it's so good, let me use that word, that you see investment pouring in. So there's a correlation between it, and it has been scientifically proven, research has shown us that usually where there's great, the reputation is good, investment is good. There's a correlation in it between both. So if there's a challenge in terms of infrastructure development, if there's a challenge in terms of investment, if there's a challenge in terms of growth, look at it somewhere, someplace, reputation or the lack of it must be playing a role.
So this administration has studied right to come up with this group, which you chair.
Yes.
I've known you all the while, and I know what you stand for.
Thank you.
Yes, really, I must say that. So what should we be expecting from this group moving forward?
Well, basically what it is, it's a private sector-driven initiative of the Nigerian Institute of Public Relations.
Okay.
And the whole idea here is we're to bring together, we're to draw energy from all the sections of the Nigerian populace and even abroad. And so we galvanize towards one goal, which is to manage the reputation of Nigeria. You agree with me that every year you have a group known as the Nigeria Economic Summit Group.
Yes.
And basically what they do is they draw attention to the economy. And every year there's a meeting, there's a flagship meeting where various aspects of the economy or players in the economy come together and they look at what are the issues, what are the indices driving the economy, what should be done, what shouldn't be done, what are the forecasts, and so on and so forth. We've never had that in reputation. What we've had is that we've had what you call almost like standalones, where maybe in some government, one government will come with some initiative, and then with that government, it dies. So we're saying we don't need to be like that. We can do better. We can bring something sustainable. The management of our reputation should be sustainable. It shouldn't be a start and stop thing. And so this is the idea behind it. I have the privilege of being the pioneer chairman, but our dream is that there'll be many more people like me or will come after me, and they will drive continuously and continually, sustainably drive this initiative, whereby we bring a consciousness to the reputation of the country, whereby we speak to the various players and we let them know that what you do either enhances or takes away from the economy. You know, I always give an example. I attended a college, and most of us say that we argue that is what is the best college in Nigeria, Igbobi College. So I have a sticker on most of my cars. I have a sticker, Old Igbobian, and we describe Nigerians as being noble. And I'm in traffic, and maybe sometimes my driver is a bit impatient and is thinking, can we go? And I say, you can't do that. I've got a sticker behind my car. What would it look like if a noble Nigerian is driving against traffic? So it helps to build the values, which is the bottom line of what you call in terms of reputation. You can't have reputation when you have no values. So one of the things that the NRMG will be doing is to help us, or is doing, as the case may be, is help us reawaken those values that will enhance the reputation of our nation.
Interesting stuff. And I want to ask further, how do you intend to present a more accurate, can I say, dynamic narrative of the country's strength and potential?
Well, so let me start from one place. Most people think that everything must be okay before you embark on what we're doing. So that's not true. They say fear is not the absence of, or courage is not the absence of fear. Courage is in spite of fear. So we have taken the position that in spite of some of the challenges that we face as a nation, we're still optimistic about a nation called Nigeria. And we believe that with the right indices, with the right, with things coming together, we can have a better reputation. The challenge we have here is that many people are not concerned, or many people have, attention of many people have not been, or has not been drawn to that. So we find out that the first thing you know about in reputation, and I hope I'm still answering your question.
You are.
Is that we point fingers when it doesn't go right. So I have a friend and his wife. They used to live in, his wife particularly used to live in England. And whenever I visited, she would say something like, Nigeria, and by the way, her name too is Tolu. She said Nigeria.
I get that. I get that.
You were born, you live here. Yeah, you were born in England. You have an English, British passport. But guess what? They're back home now. So when I see her, you know what I say? Nigeria.
So yeah, I get that. I get that. I get that.
The challenge of fixing Nigeria starts with me.
Yeah, it does.
The challenge of fixing Nigeria starts with you.
Yeah.
We should no longer point fingers. So how did we come about? We found out that there are many people who would like to aggregate strength to fix or help to manage the reputation of Nigeria. So we realized that we needed, as the Nigerian Institute of Public Relations, and we would say that we professionally are the ones tasked with this responsibility of managing perception. It falls right in our purview. We have self-appointed ourselves, the Institute, as the manager of reputation. So we felt that why don't we create this group that can then be the vehicle by which all of us who would like to see a better Nigeria in terms of reputation, we can travel in together to get to a destination. So that's what we are, and that is where we are.
It really sounds good. Before we get to the NIPR, which I know is also getting very close, how has your activities now been since the inauguration of the group? How are you moving? And how receptive do you think Nigerians had to this initiative? I also like to know that, you know, looking at our cultural, creative industry, there's a lot of work for you to do, Mr. Okusanya, I must say.
Sometimes when I look at it, it's daunting.
It is.
Yeah, very daunting. But guess what? I say to myself, I am Niger for life. I am Niger for life. I believe in my country in spite of the challenges that are occurring in this country. Some of us do have an option, and we have chosen not to take that option because by His grace, I was born here, I was nurtured here, I went to school here, I'm running my business here, and by the grace of God, I will die here. Many decades to come. I am Niger for life. For life. I said to myself, I don't have an option. So if I think of it like that, at what age am I leaving this country? To go where and do what? So I have no choice but to fix it. So you said, what has the experience been like? What we have done is that we launched, let me share some of the activities of the group. One, in October, on the 15th of October, this year, we would have what you call the Reputation Summit. And we'll bring the players together who have impact on the reputation of this country, and we'll sit round the table and we can say, look, this is what we should be doing, this is what we should not be doing. Secondly, we have declared 15th of October every year Nigeria Reputation Day. 15th of October, Nigeria Reputation. And what are we going to do on that day? We will celebrate Nigeria, or we will draw attention to those things that enhance or detract from the reputation of Nigeria. And we're not just doing it locally, we're doing it globally. So we imagine and we expect all the missions, Nigerian missions abroad, to join us, the embassies, the diplomats, and so on and so forth. And then, of course, the national and the ethnic groups that we have abroad in diaspora to also join us. We are coming up with a Nigeria Reputation Charter. We are also going to identify Nigeria Reputation champions. And who are those? Those are the people who have done this country proud. I was walking up the stairs and I've seen some people that you have in this lovely studio. By the way, my first time in this studio. Fantastic, excellent. You know, we are going to come up with an annual reputation report which shows indices of how we are moving from one stage to the other, and then we're going to have workshops. How do we run? We run through work groups. So we have about 7 or 8 work groups made up of different areas: policy, strategy, events, advocacy, and so on and so forth. So what do we ask people to do? Join our work groups. If you don't like the reputation of Nigeria, come and join us. Come and work with us so that we can fix this country. Like I said, it doesn't start with the government, it doesn't start with the president, it doesn't start with the governor, it starts with you and I. If we pull ourselves into enough of a pressure group, we can get the government of the day to do the right thing if we believe that they're not doing. We can get the institutions that we carry, the police, the Nigerian army, the customs, the immigration, just name them. We can get them to do the right thing because we are pressurizing them to say, you know what, Nigeria must be right. And what do we say as a slogan? NRMG, reputation first. NRMG, reputation first. Nigeria, reputation first. Mr. President, reputation first. Governor, reputation first. Local government chairman, reputation first. To look at reputation
first. I think I agree with that because, you know, Mr. President's been going around being the #1 salesman of Nigeria.
That's right.
I attended one of those meetings in Saudi Arabia where he says, the buck stops on my table.
Exactly.
I'm going to sell my country. If you have any problems with coming in, come to me directly.
Yeah.
Let's talk about the NIPR week. What's cooking? What's happening around that space?
Okay. I also wear a double hat. I'm also the chairman of the Nigeria Public Relations Week.
Okay.
And this year, last year we had it in Abeokuta. And this year we are having it in Uyo. It's a whole week of us discussing public relations. So the entire public relations community in Nigeria will be in Uyo from the 19th of May to the 24th in Uyo, Akwa Ibom State. Basically, it's going to be so many things that happen. One, we're going to have a conference. We're going to have an annual general meeting. We are going to have induction of fellows. We will have a golf kitty. We have youth engagement. And then we'll have tourist sites. And then we have, on a social scene, we always close with a closing gala, which we tag Owambe. Owambe. But on a very serious note, this year, again, we are focusing on the economy. We did it last year, but we're taking a section of the economy, this time solid minerals, under the theme of solid minerals, a solid path to Nigeria's economic recovery. Look at, I was listening to you when you started, you're talking about the prices of oil and so on and so forth. We have an alternative. Nigeria is so blessed. So we're looking forward to the Honorable Minister of Solid Mineral, for Solid Mineral, Chief Dele Alake, delivering the keynote address. Wow, for us, would have our own supervising minister, the Honorable Minister for Information and National Orientation, Alhaji Mohammed Idris, FNIPR, also joining us. We are having Professor Taiwo Oyedeji, I think. Sorry, the tax.
Oyedele.
Oyedele, sorry. He would also be sharing with us the proposed tax reforms
and all.
Enlightening us on what it's about. Then we're going to be talking about various aspects of public relations for a whole week. Digital PR, crisis management, consulting business, academia in public relations, just name it, storytelling. We are going to talk about AI and public relations, and we have a host of topics. So we're also going to have social events in the evening. I'm promising there's something called the Taste of Akwa Ibom, where we're going to have staged a marriage ceremony in Akwa Ibom and all that goes with it. We're going to have an ethnic fashion night. We're going to have all kinds of evening, and then, of course, visit to tourist sites in Akwa Ibom. So it's a whole week from the 19th of May to the 24th. Well, all public relations practitioners in Nigeria and those who are in marketing communications, they are headed towards you.
All right, now what will be your parting shot now with regards to perception again, reputation and all of that in Nigeria? What would you want Nigerians to know as we wrap this up?
I go back to where I started. It's all our responsibility.
I get it.
It is not Tolu's responsibility. No. It is not Yomi or YBO's responsibility. It's not just NIPR responsibility. It's the responsibility of each and every one of us. Let's start with value reorientation. What are the things, you know, permit me to say this in Yoruba. Remember, our parents will say that to us when we are going out.
Remember whose child you are.
Remember whose child you are. In our veins flow the bloods of Usman Danfodio, flow the veins of Ahmadu Bello. In our veins flow the blood of Obafemi Awolowo, Nnamdi Azikiwe, Herbert Macaulay, Enahoro, Anthony Nahoro. These were the people and who all came together to move Nigeria. So we shouldn't drop the ball in our generation. Let's build a better generation for our kids to come, and we can start by taking reputation first.
I must thank you so much. Interesting conversation as always, Mr. Yomi Badejo Okusanya is the chairman board of the Nigerian Reputation Management Group Fellow, NIPR. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you for coming into this.
And hope we'll find you in New York.
Yes, I should be in New York. Yes, I should be there. I will come in with Asuko James.
Thank you.
All right, then, well, let's take a break. When we come back, we'll look at markets and what the figures are looking like. Don't go away. It's Business Nigeria.